Ciao, everybody. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone, and we have a special guest today. It's a talent scout from Poland, but he lives in Belgium. His name is Jacek. How are you doing, my friend?
Great, mate. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it's you know what? So he's a special guest because what we do on this channel is we like to deep dive into Juventus and all things about Juventus. And he's specialized in youth players, and he likes to scout players from the beginning of their journeys and going on into their full-fledged pro careers. So you can follow him on Twitter. He has a large following, large following. I think over 200K, right? Followers?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can follow him at F Talent Scout on Twitter, and you can get all of his information on there. It's great stuff. I'm gonna let him take the floor now and just basically tell us what you do and why you do it.
So football was my biggest passion since I was a small kid. I started watching football when I was 5, and very quickly I became to spot young players. Like I really like teams with young players. One of my first favorite teams was Nigeria.
Oh wow.
Nigeria 96 from Atalanta, and they had so many talented players like Kanu, Olise, Babangida, and stuff. And then I started playing Championship Manager. Now,
Oh yeah.
you know this game by the name of Football Manager. And I was playing with my cousin, and we had this rivalry, but not for results, but for young players. Like if I found a wonder kid, it was my wonder kid. So
Yeah, you can't touch.
yeah, you can't touch it, and he was my wonder kid. And since then, I started this, and of course, like I told you before,
Yeah.
I started making scouting reports before even knowing the word scouting.
Yep.
When I was very young, and Alessandro Del Piero was the first player I scouted. Well, I made some notes,
Oh
and
yeah.
then at school I was telling my friends, look, Del Piero does this. They didn't really care, of course,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was
You'll
Del
be in
Piero.
the you'll be in the good books with us right away. Like I've
Yeah,
said to you,
yeah,
obviously off air as well.
true.
um, so I don't want to just get right into it, but I do in time. I got a lot of questions about our youth project, our youth setup, and Italian football in general. And I know that we don't have that much time, and I don't want to waste your time. But we also have questions from our Twitter account that was so nice to ask questions that I didn't come up with yet. And we have our members and our Bianconeri members on YouTube. They had a couple of questions as well. So you spoke about scouting Del Piero. That's awesome. We love that. Juventus aren't historically known for developing youth players into the first team, right? Do you think they're doing a better job now with the implementation of the Juventus next gen team? And do you think this plan can work in the future and sustain?
Well, it was a good idea for sure.
Yes.
I was saying for years that the B teams, the reserve teams, should be implemented in Italy,
Yeah.
because let's be honest, Campionato Primavera, the level is very low.
Yes.
It's really low, and Italian football needed to implement this. Is Juventus doing a good job now? Well, they make some good signings, but I don't see any fruits of that really.
Yep.
Some players are signed to Juventus B, let's call it B,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to play for Juventus B.
Yes.
Normally, in situations like this, players should be signed for the B team for the future to play for the first team. And here, I just see players signed for the B team and without any future in the first team. So yeah, it's good, uh, but it has to improve. It has to improve in many ways.
Yeah. So I believe a couple weeks ago, the director, so Cherubini, Arrivabene, the Juventus management, came out and basically had a press conference promoting the next gen team and how well, I'll put in quotes, have done with the likes of Sule, Mattia Sule, Fabio Miretti, and Fagioli all basically be on the first team. Now, sometimes I think that's out of necessity because of the financial state Juventus is currently in, but they're trying to promote it, and I don't buy it yet. But my next question is talking about Miretti. He's nominated as a top 40 golden boy. Like he's in that nomination with all the young, like Pedri, Gavi, and all those guys. Who is it comparable to him? Like a well-established, experienced player, and do you think he has what it takes to develop into a great Juventus player, similar to what Marchisio did?
Like I said to my fellow Juventus follower, if Miretti won't make it at Juve, then just close the academy, really, because it just doesn't have a purpose. Then, really,
Yeah.
if Miretti doesn't do it, then nobody will.
Yeah.
He's a great talent. I made a report on him a few months ago.
Yes, go check it out, everyone.
Yeah, and to be honest, I saw Miretti playing as an attacking midfielder.
Okay.
I saw him playing in the center as a midfield playmaker, and I saw him playing as a regista.
Okay, so he's multi-dimensional, is what you're saying.
Multi-dimensional, very versatile, and the best thing is that he was great on each position.
Yes.
Like he's really good. I compared him to Toni Kroos because I see him more as a midfield playmaker in the future. Of course, now he's young, he's playing higher.
Yeah,
but I see him playing a little bit deeper in the future. Maybe even a regista, who knows?
Okay.
So I compared him to Kroos because Toni Kroos. Maybe very few remember that Toni Kroos was a trequartista at the beginning.
Yep.
And when he was on loan at Leverkusen, he was an attacking midfielder. So I see a similar path for Miretti. Right now he's playing higher.
Yeah.
But he will be getting deeper with the quality he has.
Yes.
And I see him more in the center or even as a regista. Who knows?
And honestly, that is great because we need help all over the field at this moment. Because Juventus are I'm going to say it, they're a shit show, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. They are horribly set up right now.
I saw 2 games this season just because of Miretti. Really, if the next game I'm going to see that Miretti isn't in the starting 11, I won't waste my time, really. Because
I agree with you, man, 100%. And that's due to injuries right now and just the tactics of Allegri in general. I won't get into that. We're talking about our youth setup. I'm sure you can go on and on about Allegri.
Yeah. But the sad thing is that Juventus is not even the best bianconeri right now in Italy. So
yeah, they're not. Udinese is great. They're on fire, man. It's really embarrassing. Our coach blames that we don't have Pogba, Chiesa, and whoever else is okay, but Udinese doesn't have them, and they're doing great. So I don't like excuse makers.
Yeah,
but let's going back into the youth project because again, we really need to dive deep into this area of our club because we just had our financial report come out today. We're like in this fiscal year minus 230 million some odd euros. So we're gonna have to rely heavily on our youth sector, in my opinion, going forward. You are a scout. You know what you're talking about. Who are your top 5 youth players? So U21 and under. They can be on the first team as well in the Juventus system, and they could also be on loan.
Okay, so
you can count Miretti, so he would count.
Sule, Miretti, without any doubts.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna add Conny De Winter.
Okay.
Which I really liked in the UEFA Youth League.
Yep. He's very good. I remember that. Yeah.
One surprising choice player I'm preparing a report on. It will be online in the next few days or maybe next week. Giulio Doratiotto.
Okay.
I really like this guy. Really regista, and very technical, very intelligent.
Okay.
And the fifth guy, I have several names
Yeah.
for the fifth place. I liked Muharemovic,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
the center back, the partner
Yep.
of Connie de Winter.
Yep.
There is Nicolo Turco.
Oh yeah.
He's banging goals.
Oh yeah.
And recently you signed
Oh,
Tommaso
Kenan
Mancini.
Yildiz.
Kenny Nildis, of course.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
From Bayern Munich.
He
Yeah.
would complete my top five. So the
Yeah.
special mentions would be these guys plus Tommaso Mancini that you signed
Okay.
from Vicenza. I made a
Yep.
report on him 2 years ago, I think.
Wow.
I don't.
You're
think,
ahead of the curve, man. You're ahead of the curve.
but when I saw that he's moving to Juve, I was like, what the hell are you doing, really?
Yeah. No doubt. I that reaction is perfect for people to understand on this channel. We need to be better at this part of being an organization in a club that wants to satisfy and be sustainable. You look at Barcelona, you look at Ajax, you look at Benfica, Bayern Munich. They're all clubs that are self-sustainable and bring up players. We need to do that as well. And this is the only way. You've named 5 players. We are signing some that are like, we signed Yildiz, we signed the Chelsea kid. What's his name again? Illing Jr. Like, we're getting players from different. We're getting players from different big clubs.
If I can say a few words about this
Absolutely.
transfer of Illing Jr., really, it's for me personally, it's the stupidest transfer in recent years.
For Illing, right?
Yeah. Like who was even advising him? Do these players even have people around them to advise? Like, they told him, yeah, go to Juve. They really give a youth a chance. You won't play in England, but go to Juve. Really, I understand the money. Of course, he surely got a nice fee, but
pay. Yeah.
But money is not everything. He's good enough to be rich in the coming years, but really, these kinds of transfers like Yildiz or Eiling Jr., I just don't get it. It's I see the financial positives, but besides that, nothing.
Yeah, because again, before Miretti, I think there's been like 2 players that have come from the youth sector to the first team, and it's Moise Kean, who got sold right away after he had that nice little spell, and now look at him, disaster. And then it was Marchisio and Jovinko.
Well, I was talking with my friend, and we're asking ourselves, who was the last player who broke from the academy into Juve squads permanently? Like, not like Moise Kean.
It's Marchisio.
It's Marchisio, or my friend told me it was Spinazzola, but
Spinazzola. You got loaned out a bunch of times, so I don't really count that either.
Yeah. So it was Marchisio, a guy who retired.
Yep.
So,
and he played for Juventus for what, 12 years or so, 13 years.
Yeah,
it's not in a good state, but I think it's getting better, in my opinion.
It's not only Juve, like Inter. Who was the last player who broke through? Like, okay, now they have Federico Di Marco.
Yes,
but it took him 8 years.
Yep, to be a first
teamer. 8
teamer.
years of loans. And now he's in the first team. But besides that, nothing. So
it's see, the whole state of the country, of how they want to run things. Milan as well. They're buying younger players, Milan, but like, same thing. They had Locatelli, sent them out on loan. They had a bunch of players, but that's a good talk so far. So good stuff. Again, follow Jacek on Twitter. F Talent Scout. Oh, sorry. Let me get that right again. Yeah, F Talent Scout on Twitter.
F Talent Scout.
So you said, So you said you're doing a Juventus player report. I forget what name you said, but it's coming out in the next week or so.
Doratiotto.
Doratiotto. All right. I've never even heard of him, so that's good. I'm gonna read your report.
He got a red card. Not sure if you watch Juventus youth league games.
I don't watch every game, to be honest. I watch like once a month or something. A couple of games a month.
He got sent off against Benfica. And,
okay. In the Champions League game.
Youth Champions League game.
Yeah, Youth Champions League. Yeah. Okay.
UEFA Youth League. Yeah, it was the guy who got the red card.
Okay. Then yeah, I do know who that is. I just don't remember the name. So that's good. Let's move on to some of our member questions now, because I asked you the meat and potatoes of what happened so far. So this one's coming from one of our members, Haneen. She is a very big proponent of young players and utilizing young players in our first team. And she asked, should Juventus be loaning out their younger players to other Serie A clubs, or does this hinder their development? The example is Coney de Winter, who you put on your list. So Coney de Winter's gone to Empoli. I think he's played 1 game so far. No, 2 games, 1 start. Something like that. He was very good in the youth league, like you said, last year. He was good in Serie C last year as well with the next gen team in their promotional attempt to get promoted. So what do you think? Should Juventus be loaning these players out to other Serie A teams, or should they just keep them in-house?
Okay. That's a very important question. And
yes.
I made a few tweets about it already, not about Juve, but about Italian football
in general. Yeah.
So the loan system in Italy is broken.
Okay.
Really, I feel that there is Campionato Primavera. There are some guys in the Campionato Primavera, and when they are too old for the Primavera, you just look for a team and you send them. For the first who raises the hand, you send him there, and there is no a plan. There is no plan. There is no clauses. If you see in the Premier League, guys who get loans to the Championship, like Levi Colwill or Harvey Elliott, there is a plan. There is a plan. Like the coaches know the player, and they say, "Yeah, we want him."
Yep.
And in Italy, I think that really they are just sending them to the first.
It's like first come first serve, right? Like Empoli says, "Hey, I'll take de Winter," and Juve is like, "Okay, go."
and Napoli didn't take de Winter to put him in the first 11. They said, "Okay, he's going to be our 4th or 5th choice." He wasn't that bad. So you really need a plan. You need to. The work between clubs, like to discuss these loans, or maybe to put some clauses like, okay, if this guy is not going to play like 1,000 minutes, you will have to pay us this and this. But for now, really, it's so chaotic, it's so chaotic, and some players are loaned like 3 or 4 times. It's crazy. It's crazy
before they even get a chance.
And the club is showing them, we don't really need you. But we don't know what to do with you, So it's really sad. And I read a story about a Belgian talent who moved from Anderlecht to Udinese a few years ago, Nabil Jadi, and he said a little bit about these loans, and it was shocking. It was really shocking. He said that he was at Udinese, and they were telling him, okay, tomorrow you have to go to, I don't know, Pordenone or Fiorenzuola, and he was there the next morning, and they didn't even know who he was, like like the coach was saying, who are you? Why are you here? And it's also not easy for these players,
absolutely.
Like Coney de Winter or someone else. You play with the same guys for 5 or 6 years, in the academy. And suddenly they send you to Serie B, to, I don't know, to Pordenone, for example. And you are alone. You are on your own. In the dressing room, you don't know nobody.
There's no support system.
They want. you won't be we won't become their friends because you are much younger, and they look at you as, look, this little asshole came to steal our place, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it's not easy. It's not easy. And in Italy, they send these players like a few years ago, Parma had more than 150 Loanese. Come on,
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's better at that point just to sell them on and let them have their own career path. Don't be in control of them at that point.
I agree that loans can be really nice, can be really good for a player, but there should be a plan, like, you know.
Yes. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, for example, another Juventus center back that I remember specifically your account, or you yourself, you made a report about Radu Dragan. And I was like, yeah, he looked all right. He was okay. And then he got sent out on loan last year to Sampdoria, and he was not used once. And then he got brought back in January, and then he got sent out on loan again to Salernitana. He made like two appearances, and now he's gone. Yeah. Now he's gone because there's no room for him and there's no trust in him at all.
Yeah. He will bounce back, I believe, in a few years. But really, the mental side is very important too. Like,
absolutely,
you are in a club like Juve, so you dream about playing in the first team, and then you get loans. You can feel that they don't really want you, and you know, the mentality, the motivation is getting lower too, you know.
Yep.
I remember a history of a young player of Arsenal, I think, was 15, and he was released from the academy and he killed himself. So really, the mental side is very important.
Yeah, especially because you think you're at the top at one point because you're at the club and you're progressing through the youth ranks, and then all of a sudden one day, you're going on loan to ABCY club, and then you have to figure it out on your own, like you just said. I'm really scared for.
And if I can add something, they also have these agents, these greedy agents. I don't really like agents, and they promise them things like, you will be the star of Juve, and they're turning their heads. And about the loans, I don't know if a better idea wouldn't be to sell these players with a buyback option.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that method 100% more than just sending a dude out on loan to a random team. So yeah, I agree. I'm scared. I'm actually really scared for Matthias Süle's progression and development. I'm really nervous about that because, as we know, there's been a lot of injuries up front for Juventus, and Süle is still barely playing. He's getting sent in with like 5 minutes left to say, hey, go do something. And that's not good for anybody. I'm happy he didn't go out on loan to some random team. But at the same time, I think that kid needs to play. That's the type of dude who needs to dominate and play.
That's my opinion too. And, you know, I remember, you know the player Matistel, the guy who moved to Bayern for 30 millions.
Yeah.
I remember French fans saying that, he was playing in Ligue 1, but every time he was on the pitch, he wasn't good. And then I checked, and he was on the pitch like, I don't know, 7 times, and he was on the pitch like 10 minutes. You know?
Yeah. So like, how do you justify?
And you know, and the fans were slandering him for that, you know, and he was coming when he was coming on when the game was dead, you know, like it was nil or something. And I'm afraid that Süle, with Juve fans, very demanding fans, they will start to put too much pressure.
Unneeded pressure.
Yeah, unneeded pressure. But we have to be patient.
Yes.
And I hope that Allegri will give him some real chances, not just 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He needs to be
tested.
I
want Allegri fired. so Süle can play. So there you go.
I'm an Atletico Madrid fan, so if I have the same feelings about our
Felix.
about Cholo Simeone.
Yeah. Same similar situation, except you guys execute better.
Many Atleti fans hate me for this, but I really want Cholo to go.
Yeah,
I'm done.
that squad on paper is very good. I said that last year. I was like, I love the squad on paper, but we know who the coach is.
Yeah.
So let's move on a little bit because there's still a couple more questions here from our members. Are there any fullbacks you rate in Juventus's youth setup that can replace Alexandro, whose contract is expiring, and Danilo soon, at least?
You can go for Alfonso Davies.
Yeah, great. I love it, Canada.
No. On a serious note, I get a lot of questions like this, but I always ask, what is the budget? So.
Oh, sorry. I meant in the youth setup. I didn't mean we were going to go out and buy anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I already made a small research on players, on fullbacks that
Juve. Go ahead. You can say that too. Yeah, you can say that too. Go ahead.
Personally, for a left back, I would go for Borna Sosa.
Yep, from Stuttgart.
From Stuttgart. He's one of the names that wouldn't be incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest now, fullbacks, especially left backs, they cost a fortune now. So
yes.
Borna Sosa, and for the right side, I think Allegri would really like Gertruida from Feyenoord.
Okay, I've heard of him. Yeah.
He's a guy, and all the other names are rather too young for the first team, or too expensive, or not good enough.
Okay.
So the market for fullbacks is really hard, and even my Atletico struggle a lot.
Yeah.
Like our best fullback in recent years was Kieran Trippier. Come on.
Yeah. It's a tough position to get a good player at. It is.
Yeah, really.
Like if you look at the best right backs in the Premier League, you see Reece James, youth product. Trent, we know what Trent is, but he's still a youth product for Liverpool, right? Like, you know what I mean? And then you see Man City just buy everybody, so whatever. That's on them. Yeah. One that got away that Juventus fans desperately wanted was Udogie.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Udogie was a guy really to sign, and it was a big mistake for Italian clubs to let him go.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. But it is what it is. Are there any players in the youth setup you can see making the jump, like Turicchia or Mulazzi? There's not much there, is there?
To be honest, I forgot to mention them because they're both fullbacks, and I forgot to mention them. I don't think so. They're good. I rate them. Probably in some other club or other league, they could do it, but it's a gamble, you know. They will get loans now. Of course, they will get into this loan system.
Yep.
And if they will play well, maybe some of them will get a chance in 3-4 years. Maybe it's going to be the case of Federico Di Marco of Inter, who, after 8 years of loans and going to Switzerland, Serie B, he got his chance, but not straight away, for sure. Yeah. Not straight away.
Yeah, and that's another thing that is, like, the fullback position in our club has been a tire fire for years now. At first, it was the midfield after the main guys left, like Pirlo, Pogba, Vidal, Marquisio. Once they left, the midfield department started to get worse. And now it's our defensive department that's getting worse after we not fixed our midfield, but we got better players. It's just an ongoing issue. We'll never have a complete team again, in my opinion, until management changes.
Sadly, financially, your club and my club are in big troubles, you know.
Yes, well, absolutely.
Italian and Spanish football in general, they're in big troubles, you know. I'm quite sure that in a few years, or maybe even now, a club like I don't know, let's say Watford will come to Juve and they will take whoever they want, you know, because they will be able to do it financially. And
Well,
Premier League
Nottingham Forest. Nottingham
and,
Forest took run on Lodi.
oh yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, yeah,
It's already kind of happening, right? It's
yeah.
crazy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um,
So that's the moment for Spanish and Italian clubs
yeah,
to give youth a chance, to
yeah,
give a real chance,
yeah,
not just 5 minutes
yeah,
here and there. No, a real chance because well, maybe not in Italy as they lost to. It's not the best moment to speak about it as Italy lost to Estonia, but
yeah,
yeah, in Spain they need to use the power of the youth, because they have really powerful youth,
yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
absolutely. They
it's
got
the
some gems
only
there.
it's the only way they can compete. Well, compete, maybe not compete, they will lose anyway, but to keep up with the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as we're recording now, Italy is up on England in the Nations League. Raspadori
Oh,
has scored. Raspadori is a dude that I wanted in the summer. We were linked to him for a bit, but then Napoli stepped up and made their bid. So that's one that got away, in my opinion. Not all of us agree on this channel, the people who run it, me, Alejandro, and Justin, but that was one that got away for me.
okay.
um, so let's move on to our followers on Twitter now. There's some really actually interesting questions. Um, especially, oh, where was it? Sorry. Okay, so this is from Pradipta, Alessandro Pradipta, I think. Do you see Juve will invest in the youth in the future seriously? And why can't we trust our youth team to play in the senior team? So you already answered the second part to that, but do you see us investing? Do you see us investing in the youth team in the future as much as we are now?
uh, if there will be smart people in the board, of course,
Yeah,
and if not, uh, well, I don't know. Juve needs to. Well, all the Italian clubs
yes,
needs to invest in youth and in scouting. The scouting in Italy is really good. Really,
yeah. Atalanta's got good ones. Udinese just got good ones too.
me myself, I used to work with one Italian club, and really,
Nice.
not one of the big ones,
Yeah.
but I can see that they have really great scouts. Like all the players, like 50% of players from my notebook, let's say,
Yep.
the players that I try to follow, they moved to Italian clubs actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
that's interesting. That's not very good for the players in the end,
Yeah.
but really, they have a really cool scouting system. All the players that I follow are always linked with Italian clubs. So really, the scouting is on a very high level. Like
Yeah.
I used to help this Italian club, and I can say that it's a small club, but they have a great scouting network, great people who know their job, and yeah, respect.
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And this is kind of this is a nice little transition follow-up question from Saldi Vudi. Is advanced statistics used to sign and develop young players in Italy, or is it just are they just used like eye test?
Uh, Really, I promise you that the club I used to work with,
Yep.
they had tools that I have never seen in my life.
Wow.
So and they are not in the top. So I guess like you have a scouting department, they have tools that I
We can
couldn't
only
even
dream of.
imagine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But really, even in this small club, they had some amazing tools, the tools I wasn't aware of. So really, the technology is there.
Okay. That's good to know because I think we're in a time where eye test definitely works, but you still need some advanced metrics or advanced statistics to see their output and what they do, not with the ball, let's say, or
Yeah,
what they do in the neutral third instead of just the final third with shots in with just basic stats.
yeah,
Um, I personally do like advanced metrics, and I go over them on this channel with new signings coming in. Like I did it with Milik. I did it with anyone who gets signed for Juventus.
And what are your thoughts on Milik?
I'm going to be honest. I was skeptical at first, but I call him Ballon d'Or Milik now.
Okay.
But honestly, I wanted Memphis Depay more. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you're Polish, but I wanted Memphis Depay more than Milik at the time because he was something different. Milik is closer to Vlahovic.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but Keane's a striker, I guess. But Memphis Depay offers something a little bit different. That's why I wanted that. But Milik has come in and blown the doors off. Like, he's been great.
Okay, because yesterday he embarrassed himself once again for Poland.
I didn't get to watch. I thought he got hurt, but apparently not.
Yeah, he missed a 100% chance, and once again he always does it for Poland. Like,
okay.
Yeah, he's so bad for us. Every time he's on the pitch, he's so bad, and people, he became a meme in Poland. Really,
Okay,
he became a meme. Yesterday, even some very, very well respected journalists said some really hard words about him, and nobody expected him to say that. And he said, "I don't want to see Milik anymore wearing the Polish national team shirt."
I mean, if he's not good for the national team, that's one thing, right? That he's going to get that stick. Like, it's like Immobile with Italy, right? He sucks with the national team, but he scores 30 plus goals a year for Lazio. It's a mystery. Yeah. It's a mystery how that happens. And then some national team players are better than them with their club teams. Like, remember Podolski, who would score 50 goals for Germany, and then he'd score maybe 10 a year for his club team. It's all different.
But we have the same story with Zielinski, who's doing great in Napoli.
Yep.
He really he played, I don't know how many games for Poland, like 60, 70, but he had maybe 5 good ones, you know.
Oh, wow. That is shocking. I like Zielinski. That's weird that he doesn't do that.
I love Zielinski. I watch his professional debut for Udinese.
Yeah.
Against Lazio, I think. Or it was his second game. And I remember I was so excited to see a 17-year-old player, Polish player, playing in Serie A.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good
Was
times.
a wonder. He was great. He was great. And he was there with Toto Di Natale. And
that was good. That was a good Udinese team. Then that was probably the one that went for the Champions League a couple times, no? Or pushed at least.
No.
Or was that a little bit?
It was a few, or maybe not. It was 2011.
That was probably around the time.
Yeah. It was 2010, 2011 that they got in the Champions League. Okay.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know how old Zielinski is now. I think he's like, what, 27, 26?
He was born in 94. I'm crazy about dates of birth.
That's okay. So he's a year younger than me. So he's 28.
Like even without checking, Del Piero was born in 74.
That's awesome.
I just know it.
Love that. That's awesome. I guess since we're here, we're talking about Milik and the Polish national team. Do you have any thoughts on Szczęsny? I know I butchered the name, but
yeah. Okay. He's the enemy number 2 in Poland.
Oh yeah, good. 1 is Milik, 2 is Szczęsny. Both Juventus players.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I like Szczęsny. I really like him. I know that many Juve fans, many Polish fans don't like him.
I like him personally. I don't mind him.
He's a really good goalkeeper. Maybe not top of the top.
Yeah.
But he's a really good goalkeeper, and people in Poland don't like him because he was very confident since he was young, and for some reason in Poland, people don't like it, you know.
Okay.
Like this little.
That's a culture thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this little piece of shit. He's too confident. He has to respect the older ones, and he wasn't respecting anybody. Like he doesn't even talk with his father.
Oh wow.
Like for 15 years, like he stopped talking with his father when he was 15 or 16, and they don't talk with each other till now. I think.
Wow.
He has a very strong personality.
Yep.
Yesterday he almost fought with Wout Weghorst.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Big boys.
Yeah, big boys. Yeah. So I like Szczęsny. And I think that Juventus selling Szczęsny now to buy someone for a fortune wouldn't be a good idea.
I 100% agree with that. It was always going to be tough for him to come in after Buffon.
Yeah.
Right. But I think he's done a pretty good, decent job. He had a really bad stint last year for a month, but then I think he's been pretty good. He stops a lot of pens. He not the best with his feet, but he stops the ball. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see many Juve fans on Twitter with the Twitter name Szczęsny out or Szczęsny.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Some fans are not going to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Those are all the main questions. I just want a couple more follow-ups because I want to touch on the main guys, the main youth players at Juventus, and I want to know your honest opinion if they can make it, not just to Juventus, but potentially in their careers at a top level. So I'm going to give you 4 names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Fagioli.
He will make it, but probably not at Juve.
Okay, that's what I thought as well. Rovella.
He will make it for sure.
Yeah, he's very good.
Probably at Juve.
That's nice to hear. That's good to hear because that's a good player. And next is Sule.
He will make it. Don't think he will make it at Juve.
Okay, again, I agree with you. And then we already spoke about Miretti, so we'll skip him. I talked to you offline about the Dutch center back Huijsen. I'm sorry if I butchered that name too. What do you think about him?
I forgot to mention him. I love him. This. I love these types. I love this type of center backs.
Okay.
I was watching him during the Euro under 17.
Yep.
And Poland play against Netherlands.
Okay.
And I said to my friend that Dean Huijsen.
Yep.
In Poland, he would be our best number 10.
Wow.
Well, not in the whole in this age category.
Yeah.
He would be the best number 10. Really, his vision, his elegance. He still needs to work on in the gym.
Yep.
He's quite fragile, so still some defensive mistakes.
Yeah,
but really
17 though, right? Yeah.
On the ball, I'm gonna say he's a De Ligt-esque potential talent. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's bring this kid in.
Yeah.
That's good. So yeah, those are some of our more well-known youth players. And it's been awesome talking to you and getting an outside perspective and not just the biased, oh, this guy is doing really good, whatever. We want them to play for the first team, yada, yada, yada. It's always nice to get an outside perspective. And I'm going to plug your Twitter account again because you got some Juventus stuff coming up. So F Talent Scout. At F Talent Scout on Twitter.
F Talent Scout, yeah. And one of the Juve players I also forgot to mention for some reason.
There you go.
It's the center back also, Chiti. I really like him.
Yes.
I really like him.
Yeah, okay.
He's maybe he's not even half as elegant as Huijsen, but he has some really nice defensive skills and maturity. And he has this aura of this Italian defender with the who will put his head when the others wouldn't put their leg,
Chiellini.
So, yeah.
Good.
So
that's my kind of guy.
Yeah, I really like this guy.
So that's good. So it sounds like we have a bunch of promising youngsters. That's what it sounds like to me. There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of will our management, will our current coach, maybe future coach, whatever happens there, will they end up integrating these players into the first team? We will see. We know that not every youth player makes it. So we have to take that into consideration as well. But it's been awesome catching up with you, speaking with you about it. I really appreciate your time, and I hope we get to do this soon.
The pleasure is all mine.
Awesome. So for your sake, Oppa Atleti. For us, Forza Juve.
Forza Juve.
Thank you all for watching today.
Okay.
Like the video. Comment if you have anything else to say about the youth, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.